Hey everyone, it's Barbara Swiatkiwsky here, and I am a remedial massage therapist with a home-based business, and I help other women kickstart their home-based massage business. But something you might not know about me is I am a teacher, and I teach in massage, and one of my favorite subjects is anatomy. So I thought I'd come on today and we could play a little game together to get those rusty anatomy words rolling off your tongue, because that gives you such a boost of professional confidence. Hey! So if you're watching on the replay, it's a fun, easy game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold up either a bone name or a joint name, or I'm going to hold up a movement term. And then we're going to relate it to the upper limb. So, let's get cracking. Oh, shall we start off with something not too crazy hard? Okay. Ulna. Fabulous. Which one is the ulna? If you're thinking of the forearm, yes, so in here, you are right. So one of these bones is the radius and one is the ulna. How can we work it out? Well, first of all, let's just go, all right, so this is the left arm. It all goes in position. And anatomical position is with the palms forward or anterior like this. And the thumb will be on the lateral aspect of your body. All right, so if you put yourself in that position and you think about where is the radius. So this one here is the radius. And you can see this lovely little cup shape? That's what allows that radius to rotate that way so that you can move your forearm like that. Okay, and we have a special name for that. Anybody remember? What do we call it when we have our hands up like this and then turn them down? What's that movement called? I've got it here. Let me find it. That is called pronation. So the opposite of pronation is when you go like that, right? So this is happening here at this joint here near the elbow. So it's not really at the elbow, but it's near the elbow. And we would call this joint the proximal radio-ulnar joint, because it's between the radius and the ulna. Fantastic stuff. So it is, everybody got it? Supination. How are you going so far? Please give me a shout out if you are having a good time and you're actually saying these words out loud and excuse me, and getting them rolling off your tongue. Let's see, what shall we choose next? Let's just do some nice easy ones. What is this, guys? Humerus. Yay! What part of the humerus is this? So we would call that a bony landmark because it describes part of the humerus. Head of the humerus. Yay! So this is the ball part of the ball and socket joint here at the shoulder, which we shorten down and we call it the G/H joint. So, what does G stand for? Anybody got it? It's glenohumeral. So it's the glenohumeral joint. So the glenoid fossa is the little cup that this, or the socket, so to speak, that the ball, the head of the humerus fits into with the ball and socket joint. Great. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you two more and then I'm going to let you go. And if you like this and you want to do this another day, comment below and I'll be happy to come back with some other body parts to do, or more on the upper limb. I'm going to give you one super challenging one now. Where's that? Scaphoid. Okay, so what I find is when I hear a bone name that I'm just like, ooh, I'm not really sure, there's a very good chance it's one of the wrist bones or one of the ankle bones. So what do we call the wrist bones as a group? Where have I got it here? Here we go. It is carpals. So the wrist bones are the carpals, the ankle bones are the tarsals. And there's many bones in the carpals with crazy names, and the scaphoid is one of them. The reason the scaphoid is a good one to know is if you think about how, hey, Liz, you're watching, fantastic. And a shout out to Liz, because this is her skeleton. Thanks so much for lending it to me, Liz. All right, so if you were to fall, crash on the ground and with your outstretched arm like that, can you see you've got this little pointy bit of the radius and it's going right down into a carpal? That's the scaphoid. So the scaphoid is the most likely bone to be fractured when you crash, fall with your arm stretched out. So one more. What is another great one? See, I can remember this one. So in your wrist, you can feel. So scaphoid's going to be on this side, near the humerus. On the ulna side is going to be this little bumpy one that you can feel right there. That's a fun one to find. What's that one, guys? Have I got it written down? I do. Hope you are all yelling it out. Pisiform. Okay, so now that there's just a couple more of you watching, actually I'll give you two more things before we go. How about a joint name? So I already said that the joint that lets the supination and pronation in the forearm would be called the proximal radio-ulnar joint. Let's just kind of figure that out. So when you're thinking proximal, there's always it sort of helps you with direction. So what's the opposite of proximal? It is, do I have it here? I do. It is distal. So proximal is this way, like towards the body, because this is where it's attached, and distal is away from the body. So if I was to tell you that the joint was the proximal radio-ulnar joint, you'd know it was this one here, and this one down here would be the distal radio-ulnar joint. So this is also super handy when it comes to our fingers. So look at this. Tons of fingers. Well, not tons. Hopefully you've got 5 there. But there's lots of bones. Oh, my signs are back to front, Liz says. It's got a mirror effect. That's going to be super hard. We're going to have to work on that one, people. For next time. Okay, so just to finish off for you, the bones of the fingers are the phalanges, yep, but each finger has got 3 possible bones to name, and we can name each one of them exactly. So in order to do that, what we want to do is use our proximal, distal, and intermediate. So I'm still laughing that the signs are back to front. That is just too funny. Might have to actually give you guys a worksheet with the right names. How about that? Then I'm happy to type it out the right way around. Okay, so if I was to say to you on your own hand, so we've got the same hand here, so on your left hand, could you point to the 3rd distal phalange? Okay, take a second. Where is that going to be? All right, so work it out. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. We count from the thumb. So it's going to be on this finger. Uh-oh, getting rude here. And distal is going to be this end one. Sorry about that. I should have thought that through a little bit more clearly. Here it is on our skeleton, so you can see it. 1, 2, 3. And this one's the proximal, medial, and distal phalange. Okay, I'm going to sign off now. If you love this, even with the backward sign, and you want more, let me know. I'm always inspired to do things that are useful for you. And I'd love to hear that you actually started to say these names out loud and felt a burst of professional confidence. Cheers.